two hip kicks. Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Now, wait a minute. Am I in the right spot?
I don't know. Are you?
I think so. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Well, usually it's like, you know, back and forth.
Yep.
The back and forth of it all. Hey, there you go.
That doesn't work
Well, that
either.
was fun.
Okay.
You trying to switch us around?
Yeah, I think it's just like that, right?
Yeah, I should be able to. There we go. Hey.
There we go.
There we go. Now, TC feels better now. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. Welcome to Finding Your Music Mojo with Don and TC. This guy over here is TC. Tell him who you are,
Yep.
TC.
Hello. That's Dawn over there.
Thank you. Well, that went well. All right, who's in the chat? Mom Knows Treasure's in the chat. Welcome, Yvonne. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming in. We are going to be talking about some fun stuff tonight. It's TC's idea, and I wholeheartedly agreed because I know nothing about it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know stuff, but I'm not as well versed as you are, TC, which is fine. Today's topic. Go ahead and tell them what the topic is.
Well, we're going to talk about the various streaming music services and what the differences are and how much they are and where you can go and what you're looking for.
Yeah. And
we
there's
haven't
a
touched
difference in some of
streaming
them.
stuff yet, so we thought we'd do that.
We haven't touched it. No, we haven't even put our fingers close to streaming yet. And there's my lovely wife, Mary, saying hello to Mare. How you doing, sweetie? Thanks for coming in. So I did a little research, and you sent me a link or two. I noticed that some actually have lossless audio, so you can literally get CD quality or better, depending on how you look at it, audio.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know Apple Music does some lossless as well, but you have to have you have to like have Apple Music set up a certain way to get it. But do you do lossless or do you just do standard?
I haven't gone to any of the high def ones yet,
okay.
And that's because mostly because I don't really use it enough.
Mm-hmm.
I do pay for Spotify. That's the one I usually use, and they don't have a high def yet, which seems strange because they are one of the leading companies, and they don't have any high definition or high resolution sound option yet. And if they did it would probably hike the price up again. So,
Yeah. Oh, truly that. Yeah, because you're going to pay for the extras. Patrick!
Yep.
Welcome.
Hey, Patrick.
Patrick Murphy
welcome,
is here in the
welcome
house.
to Yvonne and Mary also.
Yeah, for sure. So go ahead and give us the rundown, buddy.
Well,
I can make you big.
That's all right. The streaming services are all depending on what your tastes are. Most of them have a good portion of what's available. Nobody has the size of Apple. Apple has over 100 million tracks, but Apple also offers downloads for purchase. Some of the ones like Spotify do not. You can only listen to them. You can download them to listen to, but you can't use them anywhere else. You can't buy them.
Okay.
And there are services that do specific kinds of music, like live music or classical or whatever. It all depends on what you're looking for and the kind of artist you're looking for. There are some artists who do not put their music out on streaming because they just don't feel they get paid enough. The Prince's estate pulled all of his stuff. Taylor Swift, who I really don't care about, doesn't put her stuff up there. And it's like, okay, whatever you guys want to do. But most of it is available for each, whoever, what you pretty much can find everything you like In my case, because I am so involved with other country stuff, it's good because a lot of it is not geo-blocked. Some of it
Mhm.
is, but on the other services, it can be a little bit crazy because not everything is available.
Yeah. So, I'm the don't really have a lot of streaming services girl. So I think my idea of streaming services, of course, I've got YouTube Music, right? And I do pay for the YouTube commercialless thing.
Hmm.
Um, YouTube Premium or whatever it's called now.
Right,
We
which
have
music comes with for
Amazon.
free. So,
Yeah, exactly. We have Amazon Prime, so I can go there and find stuff. And then we
hmm,
do base. I think the only other thing we do is Pandora, and
yep,
that is free because it's commercial. They play commercials and things on it,
right,
and that has a limited selection. But they've got mostly it's used for like background music. I mean, Mary will listen to it in the car. We'll listen to it the holiday time when they have holiday music on, that kind of thing. But we don't really. A lot of my stuff is playlists that I've created, songs and music that I have physical media for that I've just put on an MP3 player, or put on a chip or something. So that the free thing. What are the free options? Pandora is one of them. Was there any other free options?
there's free options or free levels on Amazon, on Spotify. I don't know. Some of the other ones don't really have free ones, or if they do, they're limited to like 30-second clips
Hi,
of the
Laura.
songs.
Oh,
But
really?
you know,
So
you
they actually
have,
cut the song.
yeah.
Good.
So
Yeah.
there's certain ones that you want to avoid. But
Okay.
I mean, for like Spotify, if you're doing a podcast, Spotify is a podcast, it has become podcast centric over the last 2 years. You can do music podcasts on Spotify, but you have to go through Anchor, their owned
Hmm.
company. And if you don't have a paid membership, the people listening to it only get 30 seconds of the song. They'll hear the whole
Huh.
song if they have a paid membership.
Okay.
So it's a little weird, and that's why I haven't gone
So
out of my way to do anything there. I was going to, and then I just realized it's going to be kind of useless for what I want to do. So if people can't hear the whole song, it's just like, what?
yeah. Yeah.
um,
Like, why don't I get the whole song? Mom's no church. I have Amazon Music only because they offered me a free year, but I prefer just my regular music or
yeah.
YouTube. Yeah,
Mm,
that explains it. Yeah, I mean, you can literally go if you don't want to, and you can create playlists in YouTube, and you can almost find everything on YouTube. At least anything I'm looking for. I haven't really looked for something. I haven't been able to find something on YouTube for an artist particularly. Have you come
hmm.
across any that you can't find
Yeah.
on, say,
There's a lot of
your?
stuff on YouTube that I have on Spotify that I can't find on YouTube. So it's either because they haven't released the music to YouTube, what used to be Google Play Music, and now it's
Hmm.
YouTube Music. Um, or sometimes it's just out of print and nobody's got it, but sometimes Spotify or Amazon will have it. So they don't have everything, but they're not, I mean, the quality's good, and you have the option of video also, which you do not
Yeah,
get with Spotify or Amazon. So,
yeah, true,
or any of the other
true.
ones. I mean, unless you're doing Apple, Apple has a channel that's pretty much become an
Okay,
MTV clone. So I don't do Apple
fun.
products. I do have iTunes for when I need to download something and only they carry it, and then I have to go and convert the stupid file from their proprietary to the MP3, which is a
Yeah,
pain. I don't use Apple a lot, but I do have it if I need it, because if I'm
yeah.
downloading stuff, then they're very good because they have twice as much. You know.
Oh, yeah, Don. Welcome, Don. Not a streamer paid enough for these songs. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Spotify is great for discovery. I've discovered so many new acts thanks to
Yeah.
their discover the music and whatever the different various programs, and I can find stuff just by looking for like a title or a genre that I'm looking to try and back up and end up becoming a fan of.
Hmm.
That's me. It's all depends on your personal taste. I don't mind. I feel Spotify has CD quality. There are a
Yeah.
couple that have higher. Um,
Hmm.
um, there are high res options on Amazon, and it's a little bit more expensive. And there's a service, I think it's called Qobuz,
Hmm.
Qobuz, that is specializes in high end audio, super
Right.
lossless audio, and they're also expensive, but they also have downloads, which Spotify does not have. So
Okay.
it all depends on what you're willing to trade out and trade in for as to what
Yeah.
you're looking for, as to which one you're going to go with.
Yeah. So you pretty much mainly use Spotify.
I mainly use Spotify for
Mhm.
online stuff. I do have Amazon if I need it. I use the free one, although more and more of it's disappearing behind the unlimited paywall.
They want
And
that movie. They want that
I
money.
I have Sirius XM also for when I'm in the radio mode. So and
Yeah.
also the free apps like iHeart Music and stuff
Mhm.
where you can get to actual terrestrial radio. I have those too, but I listen primarily to Spotify if I'm listening to music online.
Got it.
My favorite service was Music Match, and it disappeared about 10 years ago. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that one.
they had a great player, and they had a great set of channels that you could listen to. And I used to listen to their New Age all the time, and their beautiful music / lounge music channel was great too.
Sure. We all love that. Why not? So, if somebody's thinking about checking them out, well, let's talk about the fees first. There is a fee for a lot of these. They do have like you can get so many months free if you want a trial period, I guess is what it would be called.
Yeah.
I was looking at those. They range anywhere from a month to 3 months, depending on which service you go through. Is there, and the fees are usually 10 to 15 for the standard, $10 to $15, depending on the service again, for the standard monthly membership or whatever you'd like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
In Spotify, what would you say is the best one to start with if somebody's interested in checking out?
Spotify is $9.99 a month. You can have a free membership. You get a limited use of what that is, and if you have a free membership, you get commercials between the songs. If you have Spotify Premium, which is what I have, no commercials. It's unlimited as to what you do with it. And we also have the family plan, so we pay a little extra, and both of us have access to our own Spotify playlists and our own, whatever. So that
handy.
Works out well. If you have a large family, you can get the family plans are available on a number of these sites, and they're a little bit more expensive, but you get like usually 6 memberships to use it with.
Wow.
We only use 2, so it's like we have 4 that we don't use. But
so everybody send TC an email if you'd like to get on his membership. No, don't do that. So what's cool about this? Everybody gets their own playlist, right? Now you can or cannot download from Spotify.
You can download for listening only, but you have to be premium, and you cannot use it. You can't it can't be owned. You're only able to listen to it within the Spotify app.
Okay, so you have to be in the Spotify app.
If you're ever somewhere where you're disconnected from the internet, you can still play it, basically.
Okay.
But I'll be honest, I stopped downloading them when I realized how much room they take up.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. With with as many things as I have on my likes list on Spotify, it was taking up most of my phone's hard drive. So I don't do that anymore.
Yep. No, that's true. It will. Just try downloading a CD. You'll figure out how much music takes up. Music takes up a lot of space, especially if it's higher quality. Yeah. Higher bit rate and whatever.
But most of the big services, Amazon and Spotify and Deezer, which is another one, and
Deezer,
a few of the other ones do have either $9.99 a month, and they have family plans that run anywhere from $13 to $16.99, and you usually have a free period for a premium to give it a try, and some of them have fully free services with ads.
Cool. Well, like Laura does Pandora. She said she does Pandora. It's easy and free. I know Mom Knows Treasure does YouTube probably and Amazon Music. Don is not doing anything. Is anybody else that's in the room tonight? What else? What other ones are there that you guys might use or recommend? We'd love to hear from you as well, guys. So if somebody took your Spotify away, what would you go to? Say it, it's gone. TC.
You mean which service would I go to?
Yeah, which service would you go to?
I'd probably switch to Deezer.
Okay.
Deezer has a lot of great word of mouth online. Spotify is losing some of its luster because of the podcasting. Some of the music people are are PO'd because there's too many podcasts now, and it's just like you guys can coexist. There's nothing wrong with coexistence, but a lot of the specialty podcast services and downloaders are disappearing slowly because Spotify is taking it all over, and it's like, but if it comes to music and in terms of the type of and the selection, I would switch to Deezer, which is similar in the selection and the numbers of that. And Deezer, you can also buy concert tickets, and you can buy MP3s, and you can do a number of things. Several of these services, Tidal, which is owned by Jay-Z, has a higher resolution option for $20 a month. They also sell concert tickets. They also sell MP3s. They sell CDs. So you can buy most of everything depending on what service you're doing. The only thing that you wouldn't be able to do is if you're listening to a radio-esque service, which would be Pandora, which would be Sirius XM.
Right.
Some of those.
iHeartRadio, whatever.
iHeartRadio, Live 365, although you can usually set up options to purchase through them. And Live 365 is not really, it is literally internet radio stations, people running their own stations. So if you go on there, you're picking channels that other people are curating for you. I know I did that for years. We had several channels for our podcast, our Subject Cinema podcast on Live 365 for several years. They just got too expensive to do. But it was, I didn't have that many listeners. It doesn't have that many listeners overall, unless you can really get out there, and you're more likely to get noticed on, one of the other services than you are on Live 365.
Just like with anything, there's so much out there that even if you type in the search, if you think you know what you're looking for, sometimes it doesn't come up, as we were discussing earlier on YouTube.
You mean like on my YouTube channel? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So frustrating.
Yeah,
very frustrating.
Very.
For sure. All right. What else do you want to tell us about streaming services?
Well, there's all kinds of different ones. You can go through each one. I'll have a link to this article that PC Magazine put out earlier this year, rating the various services. And there are ones that have a little bit more speciality to them. Live One and what's the other one? Live One and I think Live One is the one that definitely specializes in live music. They do. They also do concert tickets and such like that. There is Adagio, which is primarily classical music. They specialize in the classical music area for people that are looking for a streamer of classical music, because they're high end. They don't have a low end. They are high end sound. You can buy everything, and there's the link if you want to check it out. John just put it in the chat. They have great stuff to check out if you're into classical music. And then, of course, the other channels, the other places, you can do pretty much search every kind of music. If you're looking, most of them have a playlist function where you can build your own playlist. So if you want to look, like we did a show on oddly specific playlists a couple months back, you want to do something like that, Spotify's ideal for that, Amazon, a number of other places. Now, Pandora, the one that you use, is more for the general music fan, where you can put in, like, you can pick 2 or 3 or 4 artists, and they'll mix in those artists along with others similar to them. And that works well, too, if you're looking for a mix of stuff. It all depends on what you're really looking for. I like Sirius FM when I'm looking for DJs and such. They have tons of good channels. I don't have to worry about picking the music. And it's close to real radio, what used to be real radio, because real radio doesn't exist anymore as far as I'm concerned. But
I know it's owned by somebody. They're all owned by big companies.
iHeartRadio.
Yeah, pretty much. Pandora for parties, says Yvonne. Yeah, well, like we said, for the holidays, I'll just hit the holiday music channel and let it play, and then you don't have to worry about it. But also, there's other channels that it'll just play through, and if you pay for it, you don't have to worry about the commercials. But we have the free service, so and I don't know if, and maybe you don't, maybe you know or not, Pandora has pay and free. Is there music different otherwise than just the commercials? Like there's certain artists you can't get in any
As
service
far
per
as
se?
I know, no, they should be the
Yeah.
same.
Okay.
I haven't
Because I
used
was,
Pandora for quite a while. Last time I was over there was probably more than 10 years ago. But I know they had a selection of channels, and then you can also build your own channels.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's pretty much. I was never terribly impressed with Pandora. That's why I like a little bit more control. So
Yeah. Well, Mary's got her Bruce Hornsby channel, that kind of thing. So that type of thing. So
yeah,
I might have a Carpenter's one. I don't know. Do I have a Carpenter? I might. I'll have to go look again. I might have that. But yeah. So yeah, that article is very interesting. They're trying to make me sign
yeah,
up.
it gets deep into the differences of the prices and the sound quality and
Yeah.
all the different perks that come. Each one has its own perks.
I didn't realize there were that many. There's a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot, and a lot of them are specialized. When you think about Adagio, which is all classical, and
Yeah.
Qobuz, which is high end lossless stuff, and they all have their fans. I've heard a lot of good things about Qobuz for the people that do stream that want high res stuff. They said
Yep.
it can't be beat, and they have great prices on their downloads, and they have a library that's almost as big as Spotify. So it's definitely pretty good. Yes, Patrick, we're
Yes,
talking about
Patrick.
streaming audio and the streaming services.
Don't worry about it, hon. We know you're busy. It's okay. It's okay.
That's like me
Yeah,
during
we're
Chit
talking
Chat.
about. Yeah, exactly. Pop in, pop out. We're good with that. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Also, I'm rocking some TKR Video Central merch.
Yeah,
Called
I
merch,
have
right?
2 Hip Chicks merch on.
Oh yeah,
But
you
you
do.
can't see it unless I'm standing up.
That's a big peace sign. They
It
went
is.
real big on that one.
It's very comfortable shirts.
They
T
make
Public
some
makes
great
very
shirts.
comfortable shirts.
They do. They do. For sure. So yes, we're representing each other's channels tonight, which is so cute. It's so cute. So yeah, Patrick, what do you guys listen to? Do you do Pandora or do you do some other? Do you just run a YouTube playlist? A lot of people will do that too. They'll just go
Yep,
to
Kim does
YouTube and
that
type
too. She
in,
has all of her favorites on a playlist, and she just pops it
type in
on.
an artist or type in a decade, and somebody's put a playlist together for you.
Yep. I do that too for the channels, different
Honestly,
stuff.
never used it on the radio station. Okay. No, that's okay. No worries. And people have gotten away from because of the pandemic, people got away from entertaining. So having
Mm-hmm.
people over and having a party and having the music going doesn't happen as often as it used to.
No.
But still. And I do enjoy DJing or curating my own musical list a lot
Mm-hmm.
more than maybe some people would. They just want to have music. They'll just throw on one of these services and go crazy, where I've got multiple files and playlists and things set up. So
The cool thing
yeah.
about most of the services, and Spotify especially, because that's one of the reasons I use it, is it allows you to share your playlist. I have what I call playstations up on my website. I have 30 plus of them, each one geared for a particular genre. So people
Cool.
can come over and click on it and listen. And I mean, some of the deep cuts on the 80s, I have over 2,000 songs on the 80s channel. A lot of deep cuts as well as big hits. And
Cool.
I have 3 different Christmas playlists that are devoted to classics and stuff nobody knows and more rock stuff. And you can do all kinds of these, and you can share them through Twitter or Facebook or post them on your website, and people can listen to them. And that's one way to help people discover new music this way, is by doing that. I haven't really plugged it on any of my shows, and I've been meaning to, but
maybe
I do have 2 of them. I have a Hot Tracks channel and a Artist You Should Know channel that I run over there on Spotify. Then I had links to them in the show notes for a while, but I've kind of pulled them out recently. And then the website itself is being revamped a little bit. They're moving over to their own website called TKR Radio in the near future. And I'm also hoping to have my own radio station on there. So we'll see what happens.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
No, that sounds a lot of work, actually. It sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
You
You're
don't.
used to that from me, though. I'm always
You
doing
don't seem
stuff.
afraid of that. Yeah.
No,
You don't seem
I've
afraid
done
of a
that
lot of it.
before. So I did that when I was
Yeah.
with Disc Jockey, and I did it on our own for. I used to have. We had 3 channels for. We had Marquee Mix, Marquee Scores, and Marquee Classics, all of which were movie songs from particular eras or were scores. And I
Yeah.
also had a channel called AM 70s, which was all pop stuff from the 70s. And I ran those through via Live 365 for several years. In fact, the openings from AM 70s are what I've repurposed into the openings for the Radio Retro Countdown show. So all of those
okay.
have been reused. I made all
Hey,
those myself, and they all reused
reuse
into
it.
them.
You should.
Yeah,
reuse
exactly.
It. It's yours.
Now I'm working on a
Yours, you
new
might as
opening
well.
for that show that'll premiere in September. So we'll see what happens.
No worries. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a few things from that. Honestly, other than our radio station. Sorry, I got to make my own stuff. And not to say that I don't listen to the radio. Well, of course you do. Of course
I
you
mean,
do.
it's really, when you think about it, the stations that are available. I mean, all of them except maybe Apple. I don't really know how Apple Music restructured when they went from iTunes to Apple Music, but um,
Yeah.
most of them offer the playlist function, and that just pretty much is basically, programming your own style of music. So you
Yeah.
can put anything you like in it, and you don't have to worry about listening to. It's like it's the modern day version of a mixtape. You just put the songs you want to put in the playlist and run with it. And the only advantage is you have it everywhere, as opposed to where you just have a CD player or a
Right.
tape deck.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of like what Patrick's saying. You just, have to do the YouTube mix list, and it kind of does that. Captures the songs you want. Usually,
yeah.
1986 movie soundtrack songs. Yeah.
How exactly oddly specific is that one, Patrick? 1986 soundtrack.
86.
This has nothing to do with the Transformers movie, does it?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm
That's
glad
what that
you went there.
TF is in front for.
Yeah, I know. Transformers. I know. I was trying not to. I don't want to call them out on it too hard. Too hard. So yeah. So I guess people, if you're using like YouTube or you're using Amazon or even Pandora, you are kind of using streaming services. You're not paying for those.
Yeah, they're different types of streaming, but they are streaming services. Yeah,
they are streaming services. So that's interesting. That even people who are like hardcore vinyl and hardcore CD probably at some point listen to something other than those 2 formats, or if you have tapes, those 3. You had to get it in there. Yes, you did. You had to get it in there. Transformers, yeah. So, I'd like. What do you? I want to hear from the chat. What do they? What do they like to do to mix it up for their music? Me personally, I still do. I'll do the YouTube. I'll do the YouTubes once in a while and have playlists on there. But I still sometimes like to just download stuff on an MP3 player and make my own mixes from our vast and extensive CD burned library, or CD ripped library, I should say.
Yeah.
We have speaking of how much music, or how much space music takes. Yeah, we have whole bunches and bunches of CDs on all burned over to a hard drive. So we use a lot of that for road trips
I have the
and
same
stuff.
thing. And it's not quite half full, but I'm still upgrading the drive when I do the the room thing.
How many terabytes is that? Yeah.
Right now it's 3. It's going to go up to 6, 5, something like that when I do the new drive.
Crazy man, you.
And I'm not because I want to have space, because when I get the new office done, the first thing that's starting is the digitization project. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 15 2-drawer boxes of 45s that need to be digitized. And so I won't be digitizing the flip sides on those unless I like them. No. Just the A sides. Exactly. So, and that'll be a lot of music.
And I'll feel your pain when I'm play grading all these 45s that I'm getting in. So there you go. TC and I together will be going through a lot of cartridges on turntables. A lot. I just replaced one recently, and I had to order another one just to have it in standby mode. Because it's what is it, how many hours? 800 hours of play or something? I can't remember now. That they're supposed to be good for a diamond stylus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, so when you wear one out, you realize exactly how much time you've spent listening to music on a turntable. Crazy.
Well, you're
Crazy.
selling all these though. That's a different thing. For me, it's
True.
just putting them on digital. For you, it's you got to listen, you got to play grade, you got to do all that stuff, and
Yeah.
you got to sell them. So that's a big difference.
But it's still the time. I mean, even if for that, you're still going to be putting the hours on the cartridge, and you're going to have to do it in real time. You can't just
Yeah.
like duping a tape. You can just buzz it through at fast speed or whatever. But or CD, or ripping a CD, it's a little easier. But
Yeah, yeah. Burning and ripping a CD is a lot easier than doing the digitizing on the song
yeah,
on the vinyl.
crazy,
For sure.
crazy. So, have you what new artists or interesting artists have you found by using streaming services?
Oh my God, you really want me to open that can of worms,
I
huh?
don't need a whole list, but maybe
Um,
genre or maybe
well,
the
no,
top five.
Spotify has this great thing that you get every week called Discover Weekly, and they send you new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't always check out everything, but for a while there when I first got it, I was listening to it pretty religiously, and it was through Discover Music or whatever it's called, Discover Spotify. I found a great band out of, I think they're out of Wyoming. The band is called The Strike. They're a pop band.
Okay.
They're well known in some circles, um, but they were a
Writing
R
down
and
stuff.
B '70s throwback band that has
Really?
done some other stuff. More recently, have come up with other stuff. And if you're writing that down, put an exclamation point at the end of the word strike. That will help you
Okay.
find it better.
Thank you.
They do some great stuff. I found Meyer Hawthorne thanks to Spotify. I saw a tiny clip of them in a movie called um, oh, I can't. Our vinyl weighs a ton. This is Stone Throw Records. It was a
Yeah.
small independent documentary about Stone's Throw Records, and through them, I found out that Meyer Hawthorne had done a lot more than just the one album I found on Spotify, and I love them too. They're another throwback band. They do
Okay.
70s R&B funk music, and
Mm-hmm.
terrific stuff from them. And I also, the one good thing about streaming services now is that so many artists, especially ones that if you watch my channel, you hear me talk about, they
Mm-hmm.
do primarily digital release only.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if you're looking for hard copy vinyl or CD, maybe you can find it occasionally. But nine
Yeah.
times out of 10, um, the artists that I'm recommending are digital artists. And I love them and I can only get them digitally. So, I mean, you can download the file, but you can't. Um, there's so many artists that haven't released any vinyl or CDs that it's thankfully that's going to be rectified in the case of Daddy Fryer, who's coming out with
Mm-hmm.
who just released his album on digital on Friday, and I already have the pre-order to get both the album and the CD in October when it comes out. But he's released physical media before. It's just hard to get a hold of. So artists today have that option. And when it comes to streaming, we were you talk about the main stuff like hey Glamis, welcome.
Welcome,
Talking
hon.
about
Thank you.
the main streams and stuff, but there's also the side streams that most people don't think of, SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Both of these have
Oh
built-in players where you can listen to artists that offer their material on both of those. And
no, I
whether or
have.
not you know them or not right away
Yeah.
is one thing, but I have a number of acts that I love that release their experimental stuff on SoundCloud and their professional stuff on Spotify. Sonny Soljack is one of them. He's a
Mm-hmm.
pro skateboarder that also happens to be an incredible hip hop artist, and he puts experimental loops and stuff like that on his SoundCloud channel. And those you won't find them anywhere else. If you want to hear the full songs, you listen to Spotify or Amazon. And I mean, his stuff is great, and
I have heard
I
of
like his
SoundCloud. I
stuff.
had not heard of Bandcamp before. So
You've never heard of Bandcamp? God,
No.
you're in the vinyl community, and you've never heard of Bandcamp?
I'm a outsider on the.
Your friends are like I
community.
am on the resale community.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Bandcamp has been around for about 10 years, and they specialize in digital music, and they are also utilized by a number of indie record labels. Kill Rock Stars, actually, one of the top. I just showed. Let me grab this. Is this the one? This is the new album from Cindy Wilson from the B-52s.
Oh,
Put out by Kill Rock Stars, distributed through Bandcamp. Bandcamp is they can help you depending on what you're doing. Independent artists can go to Bandcamp, and there are certain levels of membership where they will help you push or publish CDs, vinyl, tapes, any number of things. You just pay for the certain amount, and then you can charge whatever you want to charge for them. It's just like a t-shirt shop. If you want to have a t-shirt like ours and you want to sell it for $40, even though you're only paying $4 for it, you can do that.
I didn't pay $40 for this shirt.
No, I know.
Thank you.
But I'm saying, that entrepreneurs can price it however they want to do.
Anywhere they want.
And there are some with overpriced shirts out there. And
I know there are.
Yeah. And so you can, Bandcamp is a great way to discover some, acts that have gotten out there that are trying to get physical media that don't have a formal record deal. They can pay a certain amount to get a good quality CD or a good quality vinyl album and get it out there to the masses. That's why I keep telling people Bandcamp is always an alternative, because I communicate with a number of the artists that I talk to on that I feature on my show. I have open lines of communication with a number of them, and I tell them, if you're looking for physical media and you don't have a deal and you don't have the money to do it yourself, do Bandcamp, because it will help you get it out there. And I can promote it to the vinyl community if you're putting it out on physical media, which I can try to do with digital, but so many people are so snooty about it, they don't want to hear it.
True.
So.
True. Well, that's cool. No, I hadn't heard of it, but now that I'm going to go check it out and see what else.
Definitely. Bandcamp has some great stuff on it. We even have members of the vinyl community who have released stuff there. I love an artist, and this is right up your alley. Look up the name Michael Christensen. Christensen with S-E-N at the end. He is an instrumentalist, does some incredible guitar and keyboard stuff. And Steve Carlson, Professor Carlson, showed one of his albums earlier this year, and I went over, bought the album, and bought everything the man did. This is how much I like him. And it's great stuff.
I'll have to check it out. Cool. Glams is the original. That's right.
Glams is the original what?
She's the original Glam. She's a Glam.
Okay.
It's just the original Glam. She's in glam rock. I don't know. She's Glama. What can I say? So, yeah, I tripped over some artists that everybody knows now, but back in the day, Macklemore was just building interest. And have you ever heard anything from Macklemore?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
he won a Grammy for Record of the Year a few years ago.
Well, he did. Before that, though, I was listening to him. Before he won for that.
Yeah. And for a song that wasn't that great, in all honesty.
No, but then he did better after that.
Yeah, he's done some good stuff, yeah.
What, you didn't like... no, all right. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. You didn't like the Thrift Shop song?
It's okay. I just got tired of it. They played it so much. It was just ridiculous. It's not a bad song, though.
We talked about Clean Bandit earlier, which I kind of found them through streaming services, which is pretty cool. If nobody knows them, go listen to Clean Bandit. They're very good. And then I think Connor Price is a hip hop artist. He's an actor and a hip hop artist, and I like his stuff too. So, and that was mostly off of social media. So there's ways to find other music out there, guys. You just have to be open to it.
Yeah, so many. There's a lot of great artists, and this goes way back because you don't find it there anymore. But quite a few of today's artists that I like, and that some of which I brought up on the show, got their break on MySpace. Remember MySpace? It was this service that came
Vaguely.
along before Facebook took over the whole world. There was MySpace, and your first friend was named Tom.
Yeah, well, he was always, yeah. I had Tom
Yeah.
as a friend too. That's odd.
Owl City got their start on MySpace.
Owl City. Another
So
good
did
one,
the
yeah.
Ready Set. So did a
Yep.
whole bunch of other acts that were around in that time frame. Romance on a Rocket Ship.
Patrick
And
says
they first
Tom
got
is
their
still
big
his
notice
friend.
on MySpace. And now
That's cool.
now it's TikTok where they're getting noticed, because Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish and those people all started with TikTok. So
Jesus and Drums. Can you do Sabaton? I'm not sure what that is.
no, I'm not either. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Tom is still Patrick's friend. That's nice. Sometimes I only talk to Tom. I think MySpace is still a thing, isn't it?
It's still
Is it
out
still
there,
out
yes,
there?
but it doesn't really
God.
do anything anymore.
Tom might still be hanging around, waiting for you guys to all come back. Poor Tom.
I'd rather
he's got
talk to
nobody
Tom
now.
than the doofus that runs Facebook. Thank you.
I'm leaving that one alone. I'm not even touching that one. I don't do Facebook. I only do Facebook when I absolutely have to.
Yeah, me too.
It's one of those imperatives. Oh, it's a
Okay,
Swedish band.
Sabaton is a Swedish band. I'm not familiar with them, so that's...
And you're the world guy. I mean,
well, not really, unless it's
you're
connected
more.
to Eurovision and a few other things. I
Okay.
don't really know a lot about it, but
Have they been? So Jesus and Drums, have they been on Eurovision? Probably not. Or TC
no.
would know who they are. I'll bet
No,
you.
I would know who they were.
But sounds cool. What type of music is it? I would love to know that. If it's
Oh, for Pete's sake. Patrick, are you serious?
Patrick. All right, I'll bite. I'll bite. I'll bite. Why not? I'm that way. Yes, I'm leaving you too.
And
Oh my
Instagram,
gosh.
too. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, wow. Poor Tom. He's still out there. Well, it's nice to know he's on Facebook now.
So, heavy metal. Okay, so Sabaton is a heavy metal.
Okay. Cool. I will check them out. I like me some metal.
Yep, she does.
I do. I'm strange that way, but I do.
That's not strange.
I know. Well, you know, I don't have a face for metal.
No,
Well,
I
it's good
don't
to know
either,
that
but I
Tom's on
still, I mean,
Facebook.
I know some people that I knew this little, this guy in high school that looked like your average, looked like he was a better looking version of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. He was heavy into heavy metal, and you would have never known it by looking at him, because he was so friendly in school and very studious and whatever. And he goes home and listens to, Kiss and Nazareth and Ted Nugent, and like, really.
Those aren't really that heavy though now.
They were for the 70s though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're talking late 70s here. So remember, I'm old.
I ain't saying a word. It's like, yeah, no. I'm trying to think. I got some metal. Yeah, from back then it was okay. It was a metal-ish, metal-esque, I guess. I'm looking for something here. I'm looking up the band.
Yeah, me too.
So, like, how about Judas Priest? Do you do that? Judas Priest? No? Maybe? No? Okay, forget it. Anthrax?
No.
No? Okay.
Not really. I'm not that heavy to this. Yeah, this sounds like big 4 power metal bands along with Halloween, Blind Guardian, and Dragon Force. I love Dragon Force, so I might actually be able to get into Sabaton. I'll have to look that up. Dragon Force is fantastic speed metal. I love their stuff. So that's terrific.
Very cool. Very cool.
Patrick, the role of
Patrick,
Jennifer Hayes today will be played by Patrick Murphy.
Thank you. Yeah, he's playing Jennifer today. I love it. Actually, I like Tool, and not many people do. Well, not many people I hang around with. But
No,
like
you
Tool.
definitely don't look like the Tool fan. Your
I
average Tool
don't.
fan. I'll have to remember that.
I'm a fan of Tools. No, but Tool. I like Tool. Yes. Meat Puppets. Yeah. A few things. I know.
Yeah, we're not talking Ryobi here, right?
No,
You're
we're
talking
not.
about the band. Okay, just
We're
making
talking about
sure.
the band. That's right. Oh no way! I'm not.
Yeah, she is. She's so good at that. I swear she must have a link she just pastes off of every
She
time.
does it on her phone. God dang it! That's
I
amazing to
know.
me
That
right
makes me
there.
crazy.
So yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That Oh yeah, Queensryche. I forgot about that one too. I like Queensryche as well.
Mm.
Anyway, but we should do a show on metal sometime.
Yeah, we could do that. I'll have Kim join us. Kim is the metalhead. She could talk hair metal for hours.
Really? That'd be fun. That'd be fun. And then we'll have to do, of course, a country show.
Yeah, we could
We'll
do
have
that
to do
too.
a show on country. Yep.
Who is going to handle that?
Any volunteers in the audience? I don't. I know. Okay, so here's what it is. I DJ'd publicly from the 80s or mid 80s to 90s. So I know that country because I had to learn that country. And a little before that, probably the early 80s, because I used to work in retail.
Yeah.
Where we would do overnights, and the person that brought the radio got to play, or the manager got to play the sound system through the speakers in the store, and it was usually country. So I got to learn country that way too. But other than that, from that brief little window, unless it was a crossover hit, I didn't know it.
Well, there's your answer then. Try out one of the streaming services and look for the country channels, and then you can learn what you need to know to do a country show.
I am picking up very old country now in these lots, some 70s or 60s and 70s, 50s, 60s and 70s country. I'm definitely getting an education on right now.
I actually know some of the 70s, 60s and 70s stuff because my grandparents were huge country music fans. I've talked about that on a couple of shows I've done.
Cool.
And my grandfather gravitated more toward the classic real like 50s and like Hank Williams, Hank Snow. I don't go in for that, but I did get into the sound that was called Countrypolitan in the mid 60s and 70s. Countrypolitan.
Wow,
these are the people with the rhinestones and the sparklies.
Oh.
Porter Wagner, Conway Twitty, Loretta Lynn.
So glam
Dolly
country.
Parton. They're all considered.
It was glam country, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And I do like some of those quite well, but I don't go in for country a lot. So, but I do know enough about it that I could at least help talk about it if you want to talk about it sometime.
We could torture ourselves with a night of country music. And I don't mean that to say anything bad to anybody who loves country. It's just the fact that we don't know it well enough to give it a good representation. I know you're Brooks and Dunn. I know you're Alan Jackson. A few other ones, but that's
Garth Brooks. Yeah.
Garth Brooks for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those, trying to think of those the ones that come to mind. But yeah, it'd be fun. We could do a combination metal and country show. Talking about an eclectic mess, that would be the one right there. So Patrick said that if you're talking, I think he's talking about the band. Kind of reminds me of Nightwish without the vocals. I will check them out. I will check them out.
Yeah, I will check them out too. I'm interested in hearing what they sound like. Now, and what was the one you said? Connor Price, was that the right name?
The hip hop guy, yeah. Mm-hmm. He does, yeah. Connor Price, you'll find him. I think he's out on YouTube for sure. He does a lot of shorts, so they pop up once in a while. And for whatever reason, my middle to late aged brain has decided that Connor Price has really good hip hop for me. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
I don't know, but I enjoy him. I was trying to think of somebody else. Streaming, back to streaming, of course. Is there I wanted to say, is there channel, so you can get any channel on, like, say you went into, not Pandora, but Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll do metal, no problem.
Oh yeah.
It's not just popular titles or whatever.
No, they do.
Album-oriented
They
rock,
have
the whole 9 yards.
everything that they have everything marked explicit if it's such, so parents can block it if they so desire.
Yeah, because
But
there's some
yeah,
lyrics
you
out there.
can get anything on Spotify. I think you could even do. I mean, there are still also pretty large classical and opera libraries on Spotify if you're into those.
Very cool.
But yeah, you could do metal without problems over there. I do Dragon Force, I do Jorn, I do a number of other metal acts over there. So I need to send you that too.
You
Just
should.
realize that I say Jorn has a heavy metal cover of "You're the Voice" from John Farnham, and it's really really cool.
I'd love to hear that.
And I know you love that song, so
I do. I do. All right, cool. So, Patrick, we should have Patrick on as a guest for Metal Week.
Yeah, Patrick would know metal. Patrick and Kim can guest with us. We can.
That would be sweet. Patrick, are you up for that, buddy? On a Tuesday evening at 7? Think about it. You should probably ask Kim first.
That would be a Monday evening at 7.
Oh, I'm sorry,
if he comes
Monday.
on Tuesday, then he's doing your Whatnot show.
That's true. Well, he might. I'm slightly confused. Don't mind me. It feels like Tuesday to me for some reason.
Yep.
Monday night. Thank you. Yeah, Patrick, are you up for a Monday night at 7? But Kim would have to be in on this too, because it wouldn't be fair just to bring Patrick in.
Yeah.
Is she getting more comfortable in front of the camera?
Oh, she's always fine. She's always fine in front of the camera.
Well, yeah, and she seems to be. I mean, for her, the videos you've done with her video, was she only done one?
She was in 2 or 3 with me over the years,
Okay.
but she's done one of her own shows, and another one will be coming up this week, we hope.
Ah, sweet. Who edits her stuff?
Me.
Oh, okay. I know that feeling.
Yep.
He could be down for that. All right. And then of course
we will work something out. An all metal show should also, with guests.
Like, so Yvonne is into Hispanic music, right? Spanish music and stuff. We should probably think about that too.
Well, we've already done doo-wop with Katie, so we might as well.
There you go. Yeah.
Monday night hair metal madness. Oh, damn.
He could do the promotion.
Do you have any recordings of that, Patrick? Because I'll listen to them.
Hair metal madness.
I used to do a show called, what do we call it? Edge of the Blade for disc jockey, and it was all hair metal.
That'd be fun.
And it was fun. We had fun with that.
That would be fun. And we should all come together with a playlist as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sabaton shares history also with World War II and won. Interesting.
That's I'm really intrigued. I'm going to go do some research on that, sir, and take a look at it. And
that's interesting.
See what we can find out, because I saw on Wikipedia, I'm interested in finding out on. So I'm always looking for new acts.
I know this is cool. Thank you for bringing that name to us. Actually, I do have a bunch of my old shows there, about 3 hours each. Oh, we only need you for an hour, buddy. But if you've got some stuff you want to promote,
you ought to try and digitize them and put them up on YouTube and see if you can get them through without getting hits. Because if you can, then you don't have to monetize. If you don't monetize, then you can just play them, and people will get a big kick out of them. And I have some disc jockey stuff, but I know it's terrible, and I'm not posting it.
Don't know how I would get the file. Well, how is it? You have a recording of it, or if you have a recording of it, or somebody does, it's possible. It can be done. We'll talk about it, Patrick. We'll talk about it for sure. It's possible. Definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know I'm kind of hijacking the chat as far as asking people to just come on. It's really kind of, without consulting with you, sir. But we didn't have time to talk about it.
I think it's a great idea.
Just a brainstorm.
That. We've had our special guests before. We've had Mary on. We've had Katie from Vintage and Vinyl was on. We've had a few other people.
I would love
so we could definitely use other people coming by, and you still need to work on Tom too, don't you? Isn't that his name at the record store?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's very shy. Tom is my local record source for my addiction, and every time I mentioned him coming on YouTube, he's like, I don't think you want it. And he says, I got a face for radio and the whole 9 yards. I'm like, no, you're fine. Trust me. But he doesn't want to do it. He's very shy. He doesn't like to have his picture taken, much less be on video. So, but it'll work someday. Someday we'll get Tom on.
Yeah.
I may have to walk in with a camera and say, okay, smile and say cheese. But we'll see.
Click, break. Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Then you'll know for sure if it doesn't break, he can come on.
He's got some old bumpers that he could upload.
Those are always cool.
Those are fun. I enjoy those. For sure. I have no idea what we're going to talk about next time. Do
No, not off the top of my head, but I'm sure we'll come up with something. We always do.
Yeah, we always do. If anybody is, that's why I'd like to hear from everybody in the chat. And anybody who watches this afterwards, please put it in the comments section what you'd like to hear us talk about, what you'd like to discuss. And
always
if you have somebody you'd like
hearing your input.
Exactly. And if you have someone you'd like to see guest on here with us, please let us know who that is as well.
Mm-hmm.
That can't hurt.
We can always arrange that, or try to at least.
Or try to, yeah. As long as they're available, that'd be great. So what do you got going on this week, TC?
This week, I'm not going to have an influencers this week, as I hope to do with. I'm in the middle of resetting the office. It's going to have a new set and everything. I've been saying that for months now, but it's actually going to get done this weekend because I'm insisting on it. But I will be up with my usual shows. Most of my shows premiere at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. That's Flashback Tracks on Thursday. There may be a new Chem Takes on Friday. Kirkham Report on Saturday. Radio Retro Countdown on Sunday. I also have a weekly updated current Top 50 countdown called the Power Tracks 50. It's Saturdays at 7, and my daily show, TC's Daily Obscuria, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on TKRVideoCentral. Please come join me. And what about you?
He's keeping busy, folks. Let's just put it that way. And I think, video games. There you go. That's a whole genre of music, not just the games themselves, but they have some pretty interesting music on those as well. We haven't really thought about that. I haven't really thought about that, but I think we should. For us, of course, this is our busy week because we're here tonight, of course. Tomorrow, Mary and I, and on Thursday at noon Eastern are doing Chick Chat, so please come by for that. It's at noon Eastern time where we talk about a bunch of stuff in our reselling and other life. Cats and food are usually involved. Not at the same time. And then, of course, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we are on Whatnot again. I think we went through some boxes of 45s this weekend, and Mary went through a box full of Atlantic. So there's some really interesting titles coming from that. I think we're just going to do an exclusive Atlantic show and see how it goes. And then we'll mix it up again next time. But that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Whatnot. It's under Two Hit Chicks, all one word, TOO. And then Wednesday, of course, we're back on Johnny's Hump Day Auction. Sad news for those of you who are looking for the 15 plus 1 45s. We're not doing those for a month because we're getting ready for a record show in September. But we will be on there with a bunch of other fun. I know, boo. But we will be on there. Come to Whatnot. We will be on there for with other stuff, so that'll be fun. And then Friday is Deals of the Dawns again on Dawn's Southern Finds channel. And I may or may not, depending, bring a mystery box to that at least, so you guys don't feel totally left out. You know.
Love my mystery boxes.
I know, and that's on Dawn Southern Finds channel at 2 o'clock. And that's our week in a nutshell. It's the busy week, of course, but we're having a good time of going through 45s. I do need to do another play grading show, but we'll see when that comes up. I've been just doing it mostly at night, and I don't have a camera upstairs to do the, pipe it through thing, different computer. So, but other than that, thanks everybody for coming in. We really appreciate you.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
We do for sure. It's
hopefully
fun to
this has put
you.
a little bit of light on the spot on the streaming services if you're not used to doing them, and we'll let you look around, and I'll put that article up on the show notes on my side. I don't know if Dawn, you want to do it on your side too, so they can find.
I can do that too. Yeah, that would be fun. I will
listen to it.
Yeah, I'll put it in the. Hi guys, Michael, Mark, two old guys.
Hey.
Thank you for coming in. Check it out. We were talking about streaming services. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks. It'll be on TC's channel that time, but we will simulcast. So if you can't remember, but please go subscribe to TC's channel as well. But you'll find us either place. So that'd be great. Plus, you're simulcasting on a bunch of other things too, right?
Yeah.
You have what do you have? You have besides YouTube, you've got.
I do most of my stuff on YouTube, but some of it, like this show, goes on Twitch and a few other things.
There you go.
I also
so you can
stream
find it on Twitch as well, which is very cool. Very cool. All right,
more
guys.
Coming to Twitch in the future too.
There you go. So get on Twitch. Yeah. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for coming in. We love you all and have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye. Have a nice week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do hip kicks.